We're reading from Saigyo's Awesome Nightfall, Life and Times of Saigyo. It's got page 54 of the introduction. It says, start part 4, Saigyo's embrace of the Hanchi Sujaki teaching likely had a direct personal consequence on how he came to view what had been a long-standing, irrepressible fondness for cherry blossoms, especially as those could be found along the valleys of Mount Yoshino. So, and the question is, how does that blend with Buddhism? And he writes, while undertaking religious disciplines, I was in a place that had attractive blossoms. And he says, Nagamuru ni, poem 108, if my rapt gaze would not give rise to rumor and disgrace, I'd want to spend all spring fixed here, feasting my eyes on these flowers. Is that a little bit much for a Buddhist?
Such a desire. He's the worst having it.
He's an addict.
He's ecstatic.
I know a lot of Japanese are addicted to their flowers. It is, I think, not wrong to view Saigyo's efforts to make sense of his passion for the beautiful phenomena of the natural world, no doubt epitomized for him by the blossoms at Yoshino, as one of the major intellectual and religious concerns of his life.
Read the poem again.
If my rapt gaze would not give rise to rumor and disgrace, I'd want to spend all spring fixed here, feasting my eyes on these flowers. Then he compares it here now. It says, compared to the enlightenment of Sukamuni in India, and he says, Hana no Iro no, poem 1706, do the white blossoms on my mountain take the place of snow on the holy Himalayas? I wish to enter the profound inner depths of Mount Yoshino. We today may find puzzling an image of Sukamuni positioned so high in the Himalayas that he was ensconced in snow. That's Buddha. However, Saigyo, either because he was misinformed about where Sukamuni had lived or because he simply liked the image, chose to fuse the whiteness of Yoshino's blossoms with the snow on Asia's highest peaks. But he says, do the white blossoms on my mountain take the place of snow on the holy Himalayas? I wish to enter the profound inner depths of Mount Yoshino.
So he wished to be the mountain itself that carry
Enter the snow.
the snow.
Finally, by 1185, the wars had ended. There had been a number of wars, and already during the following year, Saigyo now, with considerable reputation, both as a poet and a man of religion, appears to have participated in efforts at rebuilding. One reason that he solicited contributions in the Northeast was the continued presence in that area of members of his own larger family, some of whom were wealthy. Fortunately, his travels also resulted in some superb poetry, many items of which came to the attention of the persons in courts who would soon thereafter be putting together the Shinko Kinsu, which is ordered in 1201, and surely one of the best imperial collections of verse. As an indication of the regard given him, Saigyo is represented in it by 94 poems. So he has 94 poems from the Shinko Kinsu, He, I think, died in 1190 and it came out in 1201. And he writes, one of the poems of the period is, it says, an allocation greater than any other poet within. He has the largest allocation. Well, he's quite a star. Huh? Saigyo is a big hit. Strange for a Buddhist. While on the way to the far north to visit people I knew there, I was at Saya no Nakayama, Mount Death, O night, and I remembered the past. He writes, Toshi Takiti, 2130. Little did I guess I'd ever pass so many years, or even this mountain again, and one now long life here on Mount Death, O night. We've encountered this one where he's surprised he passed there again, and he's still alive. But in this translation it says, little did I guess I'd ever pass so many years, or even this mountain again, in one now long life here on Mount Death, O night. It says this is written 1185 or something, and he died in 1190. So, Saigyo's description of himself traversing this road as an old man gives him added level of gravity to his being in a place already well known for necessitating a treacherous valley descent and ascent. Its narrow, rugged path was often described as death-defying. Saigyo's contemporaries were aware of the reputation of Saya no Nakayama in what is now Shizuko. One source of their knowledge would have been a poem by Kino Tomonori, included in the great Kokinshu Imperial Anthology. He seems to be a mountain climber. Alright, going on, he writes the poem of humor. He says, Taki Ma'o 1810, propped up by my cane, I hobble along, remembering my childhood when I loved playing horseman on a piece of long bamboo. Now he equates his cane to being a boy with a stick. Remember how the kids used to ride a stick horseman? Stick horse? Now his cane is a stick horse. It says, propped up by my cane, I hobble along, remembering my boyhood when I loved playing horseman on a piece of long bamboo. A nearly contemporaneous drawing provides us with a good sense of just how children of that era played horse. I'm sure they did. The motive is exquisitely...
In the place of the chicken.
This motive is exquisitely present in a verse that Saigyo appears to have regarded as his favorite among his works he wrote while undergoing religious exercises in the eastern region. I wrote the following in view of Mount Fuji, Kazi ni Nabiku, 2138. The wisp of smoke from Fuji yield to the wind and lose themselves in sky and emptiness, which takes as well the aimless passions that through my life burn deep inside. Very serious. His favorite.
His favorite one?
He says, the wisp of smoke from Fuji yield to the wind and lose themselves in sky and emptiness, which takes as well the aimless passions that through my life burn deep inside. So he's
He compares himself with Fuji.
maybe his passions are drifting into the smoke and into the empty sky.
His passions are burned the same way and left out.
This verse does extraordinary things within a small scope, writing at a time when Fuji, not then in its current dormancy, was showing its volcanic nature by means of a thin column of smoke arising from its crater. Saigyo takes advantage of what is known about the hot core of such mountains. That is, he draws a parallel between Fuji and himself, such in the last line of the original the term Ome denotes both thoughts and emotions. And thus, since this is a poem of personalized retrospection, Saigyo refers to the passions that have been so much a part of his life. Astutely, the poet suggests that parallel to the fire in the mountain before which he sits and stands in, had been a different kind of fire within himself.
Read the poem again.
Sure, everybody's got some sort of
He
fire.
compares himself with the mountain.
Of course, you could compare yourself to a volcano.
He becomes everything in a way. That's it.
Don't you have a volcano in you?
Yes, I do.
Does it erupt?
When I scream at you.
It erupts.
When I scream at you.
But does it keep smoldering and smoking at times?
I don't scream at you.
The wisp of smoke from Fuji yield to the wind and lose themselves in sky and emptiness, which takes as well the aimless passions that through my life burned deep inside. He wants his stuff to dump out.
In emptiness, somehow his passions, he's afraid they also go out in emptiness.
Well, you're supposed to go into emptiness. Well, the Buddhists have meant that talking positively about sunyata, or emptiness, this religious signification is subtly present in the diction of the verse. There you go.
Maybe it's good actually, it's going into emptiness to feel that emptiness in a way. So, and Saigyo's work that goes out to the empty world and feels it.
Well, it has to do with the concept of we need a Buddhist scholar to tell us what emptiness means.
So there is always emptiness.
Where is the scholar?
The parallel of emptiness everywhere. This empty space, the void, this is always bigger. As I wrote in a poem.
Yeah?
Like in the atom, the void is bigger. In the corners with the stars and the planets, the space is bigger always within galaxies again. So the void is bigger in our brain, between the cells, the space is bigger, between the neurons. So that's why we feel that void and it's frightening us sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's going to remain void in a way no matter what we feel it is.
We're reading part 4 of the Awesome Nightfall. Translation, William Lafolore. He's from Philadelphia. We're gonna go see the Barnes collection and go see him. Okay, we're gonna continue